In this video, I'm going to answer the most common question I get, which is where and how do I buy my sports cards? And I'm going to go onto my computer and show you in a second just how I do it. And the place I do it is eBay. eBay is the single greatest place to buy cards. The skill of buying cards, getting them graded, and finding these cards on eBay, that one individual skill, changed my life. It let me pay for my college, and I was able to get out of college without ever having to get a corporate job, just because I understood how to buy cards on eBay. And in 2025, I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate it and exactly what are the best cards to look for, okay? Don't underestimate what I'm about to show you. Whether your budget's a few $100s or it's a few $1,000s or even more, it doesn't matter. There's cards on eBay for 50 bucks to make money on. There's cards on eBay for $10,000, $20,000 to make money on. But let's go into my computer. I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. All right, let's get into it. This is my all-time favorite thing to do. Buy and sell sports cards. Let's see what's on eBay and let's go and buy some things. So right now while I'm doing this and I'm speaking, we are in January, and if you've ever listened to any of my content, you would know I like to buy low, sell high. So I ask myself, well, what's down right now in value? What can we buy that get undervalued, go and send it off to get graded, and hopefully it'll be worth more by the time we get it back? Well, I'm looking at quarterbacks that have lost in the playoffs. So some names or have not made the playoffs, like Drake Maye, I like a lot. With Vrabel, I think they're going to pick up some guys. Caleb Williams is solid. Bo Nix just lost. All these guys I think have a lot of potential. Even Penix, a lot of these guys are really down on the dumps right now. So I got a few tabs pulled up. I have eBay here. I have another eBay here to look at recent sales. And then I have Easy Sniper. You'll see how I use this. I actually use this to snipe auctions. You'll see what I'm talking about. And then a pad here just for math sake purposes for me to do math, and then market movers for me to see trends of sports cards. But let's get into it. So I always like to start off when I'm searching for cards, the lazy way to search for cards. So I'll start off with a nice general search, 2024 Optic Football. This is going to contain a lot of these guys I'm talking about. Jaden Daniels, I'm going to stay away from because he's pretty hot right now. He should come down. And what I like to do is if you go over here to Advanced on the top right, and you do min bid count 1, and what that does, it will only show me auctions that have at least one bid. What that's telling me is the card is within market value, because there's so many times people will start auctions where the card's worth $200 and they start the auction at $300, and obviously no one's going to bid. So this tells me the card should be within market value. Go to ending soonest. You can click right here where it says graded to click no, not graded. And let's do minimum, let's do minimum 150. Let's go a little bit higher end here. 2024 Optic. Nothing's really popping up. Let's do minimum 100. And let's change this to 2024 Optic. Okay, now we're getting, we're not getting enough results. Let's flip this around. And let's just kind of search by name. So someone who I'm really bullish on, I think Drake Maye is pretty solid. Let's see if there's any auctions hanging around. So we have Prism that came out. Prism is, it's a great product, but the problem is this year, these cards are just so hard to grade. So these corners, these black corners, this one and this one actually doesn't look too bad, but I'm going to stay away from these for now because these cards just came out and they're really hyped. People are going crazy over them. And I think there's better buying opportunities than Prism because I think it's going to fall a lot in value. Like something like this, like Drake Maye XRC. I don't like how this card looks. It looks a little funny. Going to stay away from that. People may not be auctioning a lot of decent stuff because it is the off season. So let's flip this around. Let's do this search again. Let's look for Drake Maye Optic, but let's do newly listed, and let's look for or best offer. So let's do the same thing we just did. Let's do not graded. Oh yeah, this is gonna give us some good stuff. And let's do, I don't know, let's make it a little fun. Let's do minimum $100. And let's see what we got hanging around here. So this is like kind of the card to buy. These cards you're gonna make a lot of money every time. The problem is these optic hollows are just gonna be kind of hard to grade. These backs sometimes, these blue corners get messed up, even though this one doesn't look too bad. And then a lot of the times these surfaces get a little screwed up. Something looks funny right there. You see that? I might need to ask for a better picture, but I put clean here. And what you could do, you could actually look at the seller's other items and see, does this seller grade cards? And he probably doesn't. So this card looks like a decent card to make an offer on. I need a better picture of this little white thing right there. I can't tell. It looks like it's on the case though. So what you could do, right, if I'm going to buy this card, I want to know obviously what I should pay. So Drake Maye, optic, hollow. Let's see what this card actually sells for. If you go to sold items down here, we can see this card's like 60 bucks, $67, $78, so in that range. And then see if there's any PSA 10 sales. No PSA 10 sales, but I could tell you this card has a PSA 10. It's doing at least, like at least $200. And if we go to market movers, Drake Maye, optic hollow. See if there's any PSA 10 sales here. Nah, there's none. But what you could see, what's interesting here, what I always like to look at, Drake Maye, optic. Hold on. It's being a little funny. Let me refresh that. Drake Maye, optic, hollow. Oh, it's not popping up on here. But what I like to look at is the trends, and I just want to make sure the cards kind of come down a little bit. But I mean, I'll make a cheaper offer on this card. Let's come in at 50 bucks, and let's make an offer right there, $50. All right, cool. That was sent. Let's see what else we got. So these cards, these cards, honestly, are probably better purchases than the optic hollow because they're going to be a little bit easier to grade. These red and green optics. And this one actually looks pretty damn clean, to be honest with you. Looks well centered. Let's look at it. Let's look at the seller's other items. He probably doesn't grade cards, if I had to imagine. So let's look. Drake Maye. I keep spelling Drake like Drakey. Drake Maye, red, green, optic. So these are gonna sell for around the same, right around $50. No PSA 10 sales. But a PSA 10, I mean, you're gonna make pretty decent on this. You can just see how many cards are just out here to make money on. Let's come in cheap at like $30 and let's see. Got denied. You know, I'll come in strong on this one. You know, I'll pay. This card looks pretty good. I'll pay the full comp. Should be $50. Yep, there we go. And just to show you guys an example of what you want to do. Right, if I'm buying this card for let's say I purchased this card for $50, right? I want to make sure I could at least double my money. So my grading cost is going to be around $19. So if you look at PSA, if you go to like the PSA website here, and we go to pricing, you could see this is the service I'll probably end up using, the $19 service, the value bulk. So if my total investment, right, is, what is that, $69, funny number. I want to make sure at least I can double my money. So I want to make sure I can net at least 140, which means I need a PSA 10 to be selling for like 160 to 170 at least, okay? And obviously, because this card's a little bit newer, there's no PSA 10 sales, but what you could do, so a product like this, if you're not sure like about a certain product like optic, you can go, okay, well, there's no sales of this year, but what about last year, 2 years ago? So like, let's go to like 2022. Let's go to like Brock Purdy optic hollow. And you could see, so if we go to sold items here, you could see this card of Brock Purdy, same card of Drake Maye I was just showing you, but this is 2 years older. You could see it does like 40 bucks, 50 bucks, and you could see a PSA 10 does triple, right? So based on previous years, and I just know from being in sports cards a long time, that these cards, I'm going to at least double my money basically every single time. because they're just a little bit harder to grade and people love them, so they get big margins. Let's see what else we got here. So these cards are interesting. These red Pandoras, these were like the first cards to come out of Optic, and they started off really hot and then kind of cooled down a little bit. I'm curious what they sell for now, though. Let's look this up. Drake Maye red Pandora. So there's going to be a PSA 10 sales of this card. So you could see a PSA 9. You could see someone. This guy just counter offered. We're live here doing this. No, it's not worth $75. I'll come back to that. But so this red Pandora Drake Maye, you could see a PSA 10. One did 380. The last one did 250. Raws do like 80, 74, 60. So like PSA 10, I trust this sale because it's an auction. Did 195, right? So like it's kind of close. If you buy it for 70, 80, you're not really doubling your money at the end of the day. So like a card like this, because I'm not going to be able to double my money, I'll probably stay away from the cards. They kind of got, the excitement kind of died on them. But let's go back to this offer here. So he wants $75 for this red-green Drake Maye. And so, yeah, it's just not worth that. It's like 50. Come on, guy. What are we doing? I made a good offer. I mean, I don't really want to go much higher. This is probably the highest I will do. Thanks. The card sells for about 50 all day. I'll let him have it a little bit. I'll let him have it. So cool. I think he's gonna accept it. Let's see what else we got of Drake Maye. A lot of, ooh, this is an SSP, so this card's a little bit more rare. Drake Maye football emoji. So emoji, they're always coming out with different like names or types of cards. This is like the variation of the card. These corners look pretty good. Let's see what's said down here. Not much. Seller has decent feedback. Let's see. He probably breaks and doesn't grade cards, so that's a plus. And let's see what this card sells for. So let's see if we can find it. It's probably a little bit more rare. Drake Maye emoji. So this card, as a PSA 9, is like 250, 202, raw to 280. But this was during the season. It's probably come down, and I want to be conservative. So, and let's see if this is going to tell me anything. Drake Maye emoji. So yeah, it's kind of showing me the last sale. So this card, you could see, kind of started off at $500, and now the last sale was $280. But this was the card. This card's gonna come down. So this guy's asking pretty high. There's no way he's gonna accept my offer. But like, I'll come in at like 150. There's no way he's gonna. Might as well offer it, right? It's free. But there's just no way he's gonna accept it. Yeah, probably a waste of time there. Cool. Got some offers in on Drake Maye. Let's look at Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is an interesting buy. Let's open it up to not just Optic, and let's do this. So what we could do, if we do a parentheses and a comma, so Bo Nix, Drake Maye, Michael Penix. I think he could have some hype. Michael Penix, and you know whose value is probably gonna start to go up, JJ McCarthy, because Mr. Darnold did not do that well towards the end of the year. And Jaden Daniels, and I'm missing one guy. Who am I missing? Oh, Caleb Williams. So really anyone but Jaden Daniels right now, I'll buy. And what this is, so this search you see right here, this is like 5 independent searches in one. So what's cool is I could just, in one click, look at all these different cards. Let's spice it up a little bit. Let's go like 300 plus. See what's hanging around in a little bit higher end area. So a lot of Prism's gonna pop up. I kind of want to stay away from Prism. I'm not like that crazy about it. It's just gonna be really hard to grade, and it just came out. Little Michael Penix Kaboom. Let's see what these sell for. Michael Penix Kaboom. Last one at 800. Gold at 770. Oh, there's our boy. Counter offering. And $60. Come on, man. I'm just coming back. I'm coming right back. I should go lower. I should go back down to 50. That's what I should do. But we're going right back to $55. We don't care. We don't care. But back to this Michael Penix Kaboom. So this card, are there any PSA 10 sales? I don't love Kabooms. The margins on them aren't like that great. I'm gonna stay away from Kabooms. I really have for most of my life. Not a big Kaboom guy. Let's see what else we got hanging around here. This snakeskin. This is a sick card, but unfortunately, it's no good. A lot of prism. You know what we could do? We could add an optic behind all their names, so it should only show us optic. Because remember, this is 5 independent searches. 1 optic. I think McCarthy's a good idea. I mean, should gain a lot of hype. I mean, I think the Vikings are going to probably go with him. So let's see. Nah, it's being funny. Let's go individual. It's gonna give us better searches. Let's look at JJ McCarthy optic. See what his cards are probably gonna be a little bit cheaper than the others because he hasn't played and he's been injured. Let's do not graded. Let's do minimum $100. JJ McCarthy. So this guy's asking a lot of money. Let's see what his optic hollow does. So McCarthy. Optic hollow. And offer decline, man, over $5. Painful. That's painful, but you got to stick to your guns because if you keep overpaying by 5 or 10%, it eats at you. Even though it's so tempting to just buy that card because it's a nice adrenaline hit. When you buy a card, it's like, shit, I'm going to make some money on it, but it's not worth it. So this card, optic hollow, is like $30, $40. People are going to be, because Darnold had some shitty games, people are going to be like, probably asking too much. Oversized card. Okay, that's not what we want. Let's just give JJ. Let's forget about optic. Let's do a regular just search here. JJ McCarthy. Let's go a little bit. Let's see if he has anything higher end. Let's do like minimum $300. And let's see. So like this stuff's like the Prism stuff's cool, but like it's just too early. It just came out. You can see this card's not going to grade. You can see there's some whiting on that corner right there. That's going to be a problem for these cards. JJ McCarthy, Kaboom. Man, these are selling strong. So let's look what this sells for. McCarthy, Kaboom. What's the vertical doing? The vertical variation. The horizontal one does like 780. The vertical one. Let's type in vertical. Vertical, let's see. This is not the card I'm looking for. All right, there's no sales. So we'll stay away from it. We will stay away. I love these no huddle prisms. I've always done so well on them. Now this is interesting. JJ McCarthy Gold Kaboom. This card at the National Card Show in July, if you get it at the right price now, you will make a crap ton of money. But this is actually kind of interesting to me. So this guy probably pulled the card and got lucky. The card is rare. Super short printed. So let's take a look and see if we could find a value for this card. I'm actually really interested in this card. So my buddy Dylan, who's actually visiting me right now. He's the one who got me into sports cards. Works for alt like auctions a lot of cards. He's been telling me a lot of like higher end cards like gold kabooms and black prisms and these 101 rare stuffs. Like even though some of these players aren't playing that great, these cards are making a comeback, and there's these heavy investors really getting into them. So might be willing to just pay pretty strong. But let's see if we could find a gold kaboom of any of these guys. 2024. Let's go to highest priced. So this is the horizontal. So we have Mahomes. So we have Caleb Williams on January 11th. So watch this. This is how we're gonna determine what it's worth. So we have JJ McCarthy, gold, Kaboom, horizontal. I'll show you guys a little trick here. We want to know what this is worth, okay? So we have Caleb Williams did 8,600. So Caleb Williams, his did 8,600. And then Penix, so Penix, his did 7,700. So, okay, so those are, is there any other sales? I just want to use quarterbacks to compare to. Okay, so that's all we need. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, how much more or less does McCarthy sell than these guys? And McCarthy probably is going to sell for around the same as Penix, just kind of knowing sports cards, but let's take a look. So what we could do, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to do this, but we could just look at their regular Kaboom and see. So like we could look at Penix Kaboom and go to recently sold or recently listed. And you can see, so Penix is his horizontal. The last one did 800, 1,000, 1,000. So like probably closer to 1,000, 881. So it sells for like, so Penix regular Kaboom does like 800 to 1,000, probably closer to 1,000. And then Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams, Kaboom. Oh, I did not spell that right. Kaboom. His does about 1,000 as well. It seems like a little bit more. So Caleb Williams does about 900 to 1,000. Okay, so like they sell Penix and Caleb Williams sell for roughly the same, which makes sense because their gold Kaboom prices are roughly the same. And now we want to see what JJ McCarthy sells for. So JJ McCarthy, his does a little bit less. So his does like 700. So yeah, it hovers right around 700. So JJ McCarthy, his does about, call it 700. So this is his JJ McCarthy, just so you guys aren't confused. Regular Kaboom, right? So what we're looking at up here is gold Kabooms, and this right down here are the regular Kaboom cards. And what this tells me, right? This data right here tells me that JJ McCarthy roughly sells for like JJ McCarthy sells for about 15 to 20% less than Penix and Caleb, right? So what that tells me is, okay, well, Caleb Williams and Michael Penix's gold Kaboom sell for about 8,000, and if you do the math, and let's do 8,000 times times 0.2, let's say 20% less, so that's $1,600. So if you do 8,000 minus $1,600, so JJ McCarthy his gold Kaboom, this card should be worth 6,000-ish. And obviously I want to be conservative because this isn't like the exact value. So I'd like, and also like, because I think he's going to gain a lot of hype and momentum, and also this card, is it gradable? It's kind of hard to see, but I'm willing to take a shot here. So what I'll do is I'll contact the seller, and what you could do, I'm going to try to take them off of eBay and try to do the deal off of eBay. So I'll send them a deal and say, hey, love the JJ McCarthy gold Kaboom. Check out the picture and let me know. So I'm going to send him a picture here. I have a picture on my computer. And basically what this picture says, it says, hey, just if interested, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. What I'll also do, I'll also offer him something cheap over here just to kind of get his attention. Let's do, yeah, it's probably going to get declined, but maybe he'll accept it. That's not bad. But yeah, that's how I kind of got to his value right here. Hopefully this makes sense. All I'm doing is I was looking at other players and seeing, okay, does McCarthy sell for more or less? And obviously I know McCarthy's going to sell for less than Penix and Caleb Williams. I just see how much less, and then boom, do the math. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a little unique strategy that I think is pretty cool. But hopefully I think I might buy that card. If he accepted that $4,000 offer, should be you should be reasonably priced on it. Let's see here. We have a downtown McCarthy, JJ McCarthy, downtown. So PSA 10 of this card did $1,300. Raw does like 460, so that's a pretty good margin. 500. I just want to look at something. I want to look at the centering on this card. So this card, yeah, you can see this card's not well centered. You can see this left border and that right border are not even, as opposed to this card that graded a 10. You can see this left border and right border are pretty even. So this card, nice card, but it's probably not going to grade the way I want it to. Let's see this one. So this one is much better centered. He has it on a nice little stand thing, which is always promising. And he definitely doesn't grade cards. Ooh, sorry. Getting over a little flu here. This card doesn't look bad. I mean, this card sells for like, if a PSA 10 is going to be $1,300, and that PSA 10 sold yesterday as I'm speaking right now. I don't know. I'll come in at like 300. See what he says. See if he's going to accept it or not. Let's see. $300. And nope. Won't accept it. Let's see. The last one did 460. Not 4,000. $400. And let's see if he's going to accept that. Nah. I could probably bother him, but we'll move on. We'll move on from that card. So not bad. That McCarthy, I think I'm going to actually end up buying that JJ McCarthy gold Kaboom that you guys just saw, which is pretty cool. And let's look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix just lost. No one wants him. He stinks now. Let's see, Mosaic Peacock. These cards actually do pretty well. You can see this guy literally hit it in a break and has it posted, which means it's probably in good condition. Let's look it up. Peacock, Bo Nix, Mosaic. No sales of this card. But let's see if there's like a Bo Nix Mosaic or like a Caleb Williams Mosaic maybe to compare it to. Okay, so Caleb Williams did 774, and Bo Nix and Caleb Williams sell for roughly the same. So like, I'll come in at like $600. See what he says. He might accept it. Yeah, offer sent. Cool beans. See what else we got. Once again, the Prism stuff just looks real promising, but I know better. It's going to come down in value, and they're very hard to grade. It's a bad combination. Regular size, downtown, Bo Nix. Kind of a weird picture. Let's see what Bo Nix. Oh, what's that? How to spell it? Bo Nix, downtown. Let's see what that sells for. So it sells for like $990 was the last sale. PSA 10 at $1,900. So I'm not really doubling my money is the problem unless I get a good deal. Like I'll come in cheap. I mean, he did just lose, so his value probably will come down a little bit, but see if we could come in cheap. See what happens. It's not bad. $700. Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely end up buying a few of these cards. You'll probably see some of these cards I'm buying right now in a future video. Look how I made X amount of money on a certain card, but you're seeing it right now exactly how I find them. Let's see. What else is there's bonus? Let's look at the Bo Nix high-end market. Let's just go to highest price and see what he's got out there. Wow, so the black 101, that was the variation. That was hit. That's pretty cool. This is his true gold. Like these cards are super interesting. Like you can make a lot of money if you do these cards right. This card's not going to grade, but like this card's probably worth like 10 to 15 grand. This guy's asking way too much because he's trying to capitalize on early excitement. Yeah, this is I love gold XRCs. I love this shit. Sealed KP2 cards. Oh wait, he lives in Longwood, Florida. Is that close to me? I live in Tampa. Let's see, Tampa, Longwood. 2 hours. He can make the drive, right? If I'm offering him a bunch of money. Let's see what that sells for. Bo Nix, XRC. Let's go to highest price. So it was gold at 5,000, 5,000. So yeah, that makes sense, around 5 grand. Let's offer like 3,500 because he just lost, and I'll send him a message. Same thing I did. I don't like to buy higher end cards on eBay. I like to try and take them off of eBay. Oh wow. Yeah, people are in good moods today. But let's send him a message. The same thing we did before. Hey, love the Bo Nix XRC gold. Check out the picture and let me know. And let's include that picture right here. Bang. I think I might buy this one too. Shit, that's a nice one. I hope I get that. Fuck. I hope I'm able to get that. If I got PSA 10 that, I'll let it rip for 15 grand. Easy. Easy. Especially if I hold it and he gets the right amount of attention, because the Broncos should pick up some pieces because he really needs another like guy out there. But there's so much good stuff on eBay right now. Jesus. It's because there's so many quarterbacks. Like, it just makes it easy. So, like, Mosaic. I'm not the biggest fan of Mosaic, but this is a gold, but this card's not going to grade. You can see this corner is whiting. I'm curious, though. Just out of curiosity, I wonder what that sells for. Bo Nix. Mosaic. So this card sells for, like, 4,500 and, like, 2,500. It's probably more similar to this, like, probably around $1,800 to $2,000, if I had to guess. Sick card. Just not gradable, but really nice card. I would love if that corner was not messed up. Oh, here's another one. Mosaic, fresh off the line. You can see it. You can just see these corners are just banged up. And, like, honestly, if you can get a good deal buying this card raw, it still could be worth it, but I'm just going to play the grading game for now. I don't feel like going down that route. The flipping raw cards. People get pissy. They buy the card from you. Then it doesn't grade, even though you told them it wouldn't grade. And they're like, I want a refund. I don't know if you guys have ever had that happen. But yeah, we found some good stuff today. Yeah, this is good. Well, cool. I will end this here because I could keep going. I have a lot of stuff to do today. I can keep going on forever. I love this shit. I've been doing this for such a long time. But hopefully this provided you guys just a little bit of value and what it looks like looking at cards on eBay. Or you could buy lower end cards like that red-green Drake Maye I was trying to buy for $55, but the guy was too cheap and declined me over $5. Or you can go for higher end cards like I am here, especially it's just a great time for sports cards. I mean, football's the biggest sport. There's like 6 young quarterbacks that are just look pretty promising. None of them have looked like busts yet. So it looks pretty good. But let's head back to the camera. Hopefully that training helped you out a little bit. You can see there's all sorts of cards to buy on eBay. There's lower end ones, there's higher end ones. But the bottom line is the card in good condition? Can I at least double my money? Am I buying the card at the right time? You can see those guys I'm buying, the ones I'm looking to buy, a lot of those cards are down in value in the past month or two. And I could safely say that Bo Nix or Caleb Williams or Drake Maye, they're kind of at their floor right now. They might go down a little bit, but these are guys that have a good chance of going up in value in the coming months, okay? So my floor is very small. The ceiling's very high, right? If the Patriots trade for T. Higgins, for example, you'll see Drake Maye's value go up a lot, okay? But hopefully this video provided you some value. If you have any questions, thoughts, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram or just leave a comment below. I try to answer the comments below on YouTube and a podcast I do every single week. But hopefully you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.